Okay, I wanted to show you this because occasionally you do run into problems, and in this case I did run into a problem, and I just wanted to show you what can happen sometimes. Things are going pretty smooth, and I did mention about putting on the trunk lid and making sure the alignment is correct. I also just set the quarter panel extensions in place. They're not bolted in, but just showing you the fitment. It's pretty close. But here's the problem. When I close the deck lid, and all this is kind of close. You can do some adjustments. Like again, this extension isn't bolted in, so I can move it around and manipulate it. But it fits the quarter panel as it should. The trunk lid is mounted on its original witness marks. The quarter panel fits the wheelhouse nice all the way around. I did not weld this yet back here, as I said before, and it's not welded on the bottom yet, down here. Everything else looks good. The fitment at the door jamb, real nice. So I don't have a problem with this right quarter panel. I think everything's where it should be. The problem is the left quarter panel. Now I don't have it fully bolted on, or welded on yet, but I do have it in position. And I've run into this problem with a previous car, but it was a different problem, but it was still the left quarter panel. So I'm pointing at the quarter panel as being the problem. Now let me show you a couple things. Up front here, where it meets the jamb, I've got this gap at the bottom correct. I've even tacked it in right here, just to hold it in place. But you come up here, and it's higher than the jamb. So you can push on it, kind of do some adjusting, maybe get it in place. What that does though is creates a problem down here. That's where the hump is. You can see I sliced that, and I can push it in. Still not good, but there's still more to this. As I come to the back, I've got a nice line here where it meets the filler panel. But you come back to the back, and this is just really messing me up here. You can see the gap from where the trunk lid meets all the way across. It gets big. The trunk lid is sitting correctly on this side, but and the trunk lid is square, and it's sitting where it should be on this side. The quarter panel is registering low. Now, you know that this car I put a one-piece floor pan in. I've done all the measuring and everything is square. Everything's at the right height. Part of the giveaway too is you look at this tail pan, or the filler panel, or tail panel I should say, in the back, and see where those brackets go for the bolts through the bumper. Come over to this side and you can see that it's sitting low, just like here. Now this creates a problem, obviously. You can't put this car together like this and expect it to be right. So I'm going to have to do probably some modifications, and at this point I'm still figuring out where I need to do these modifications. I may end up sectioning this whole quarter panel and adjusting it to make it fit where it should back here in the back. My next step is I'm going to mount both the doors and get a look at them and see how those line up with the body lines. And I'm just really not sure at this point. But I did want to show, that not everything goes smooth, and you will run into problems. You just got to figure out how to fix it. So I'm going to drive on. I'm going to break those welds loose on that quarter panel on the driver's side, get these doors set in place, and see what's what. Okay, so I showed you the problem with the left quarter panel and the way it fits. So I'm trying to figure it out, and what I decided to do was buy another quarter panel. Now the first quarter panel, which is over here, was bought several years ago from Mustangs Unlimited. This quarter panel was also bought from Mustangs Unlimited, and I just bought it about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And the difference is this quarter panel, they tell me, was made by Dynacorn. As we know, the floor pan and the firewall and several other pieces I put on this car were made by Dynacorn. Now I did notice some differences, just in the shape of the panel itself and the way it's put together. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the spot welds, and you can see up here in this corner where it creates the corner for this piece that holds the tail quarter panel extension. You can see it's got a gap there. I don't know if you can really see it or not, but this one, it appears to be either a better or a different stamping. The corner's tighter, the shape seems more correct on that section. A few other things, you can look at the bottom, and the flanges are just slightly different between the two. I know it's hard to tell, but there are some slight differences. But one of the biggest differences I've noticed was, if you remember, on the left quarter panel and on the right quarter panel, I showed you how I had done the cutouts down here in that corner and back here for the wheelhouse, and how important that was. And now that I've got this other quarter panel from Dynacorn, let me show you here. This one already has cutouts, so they knew that was a problem when they remade this. The other thing, in looking at it, I know it may be hard to judge. Let me grab my level here. If I put this level from the bottom to the top, the gap is pretty flat, which is, great. I did notice on this one, which is the first panel, you can look down here at the bottom, and there's a bigger gap, and it even changes up here. You can see a gap. So I'm really hoping that between the two, the new one will fit better and take care of the problems that I had with the old one. It also appears that even the lines in here are better and crisper between the two. And even the flange, if you remember on that other one, it had a kind of a hump up here, especially on the right side. This one, it has it as well on the old one. But the new one, like I said, from Dynacorn, appears to be much better. Well, I say much better. It appears to be better. And it may even be just slightly thicker, but not by much. So I'll get this one prepped and see if I can't get it on the car, and hope that fixes it.